Outlet pass for Rick Nash. Nash now tries to split the defense and walk in. Nice move. Another nice move. He scored. What a goal. It doesn't get any better than this.
As he plays to the point, instead, he works his way back free. Granlund fires, score!
Hello and welcome to the Puck Drops Here podcast. I'm your host, John Crawford, along with my brother, Howie.
Hey.
Here for episode number 29.
I don't know.
30. This is episode 30. Did you know next month is our 150th episode? Next month.
Wow.
I know it. Nuts.
Wow.
So, how you been?
Annoyed
Annoyed.
after last night's game.
Wow, I understand.
I don't know if they'd even make it through the high school state tournament at this point.
We'll talk about it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it really stinks. And it stinks that you're not being able to see any of this stuff.
Yeah, well, that's, partially my fault because I don't have cable.
Yeah. But maybe you should get cable just for this time of year.
But even so, I'm not home.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, but you could DVR it and then watch them later.
No, I could watch them. I just have to be 48 hours behind.
Yeah, but by then you've already know. You know.
Yeah, I would have.
There's no way you can go into blackout that long.
I'd have to stay away from all media and everyone I work with, and just don't
Yeah, that's impossible.
Don't talk to me about the game. I don't want to know.
That would be impossible to do. So, yeah, the Stanley Cup Playoffs are here. We are now a couple games in, and here we are doing our prediction show 2 games late. But I promise you that we have both made our picks all the way up to the Stanley Cup, as you can see. So we were going to go through that and place them. I'm going to place them on our bracket that we've been working on. It is not perfected, but we will perfect this. Hopefully by next year we'll have it figured out.
Well, you know that I picked mine well before the playoffs started because look who I got winning the Minnesota series.
Well, yeah. We'll get into that.
That ain't happening now.
Well, we don't know. Stranger things have happened, Howie. We'll go into it.
It's not going to be no miracle on Manchester, I'll tell you that.
Do we have any hockey news other than what's going on right now with the playoffs?
Well, the only two things up top of my head was Daryl Suter was fired from the Kings. He was let go, and I can't recall the name, but Vegas hired their first head coach.
Yes. I can't recall the name either, and I don't have it up on my screen right now.
Oh, and apparently there's still a hockey team in Arizona.
Apparently there is, yes.
And no moving trucks have been seen as of yet in Seattle. The latest from our in-town correspondent.
Our in-town correspondent.
Who's buckled down just outside Key Arena.
Yeah. Waiting there in a sleeping bag.
Yep. Yeah. No Mayflower trucks have pulled up yet.
Yeah.
Or whoever they're going to be using.
Yeah.
Starving college students.
Yeah. It might just be the players and.
Yeah. Convoy of Ford Pintos.
Ford Pintos. Yeah, convoy of Ford Pintos rolling into town. Oh, man. All right, so I guess we don't. So let's move on into what we have going on, which is the Stanley Cup Playoffs, the first round.
Well, wait, I'll go back to the hockey news. I mean,
okay.
What are your feelings with Daryl Suter being fired?
Well, I had a feeling that it was coming. I don't know. I'm okay with it. I just had a feeling it was going to happen, so I wasn't really surprised. And maybe, like I had said earlier, a few episodes back, that maybe they do need a big shakeup, and maybe this is it.
Have there been any rumblings as far as rumors of who's going to take over?
No, I haven't heard anything yet. But I think I'm going to welcome the change. I think this is what they needed, I thought this was it. I figured something big was going to happen, and this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I've kind of prepared myself for the change already, so I'm ready for it, and I will welcome whoever it is that comes in. So.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see who they pick up. I don't know really who's available right now.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I like Daryl Suter. I think he's great. I would have been fine keeping him, but I just figured something big was going to happen, and that's what it is. I think.
Well, if they get changes in North Korea, maybe they could pick up Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, maybe he may be available.
He may be available.
Yeah. What a mess that's become.
Yeah.
But that's a different podcast.
Yes. That's the mother of all bombs.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into this first round, and I know it's going to be kind of hard for you. Let's start with the Chicago-Nashville series. Or no, because we usually start in the East, don't we?
Yeah, we start in the East.
Yeah, well, let's start with the Montreal Rangers series, which I think has become my favorite one to watch so far. It has been really awesome series so far. A lot of action. Two teams that I don't really care about really much, but there have been some great hockey. And now this series is tied at 1 after last night. I know you didn't. Did you get to hear any of that game? Or?
No, I just saw some highlights, and that was pretty much about it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, I think this series is one of the stronger series so far, and I figured that it would be in the first round, one of the more exciting series. And I picked this series to go 7 games.
I picked. I don't have my sheet there in front of me, so I don't remember the game amounts, but I think I picked the Rangers to win that. I believe it's 7 games.
You did.
Okay.
We both have them going 7 games, and we both have the Rangers moving on.
Yeah, I think the Rangers I don't know. I think it almost benefited them being a wild card.
I think it has.
Because I think they're going to have an easier time playing in the Atlantic as opposed to their own division.
I agree. But what a series that has been so far. I mean, excitement from beginning to end, I think. Great hockey. Okay, Howie, how about the Ottawa-Boston series?
That series has already got me let down too because Ottawa dropped that first game. I picked Ottawa in that one, I believe, in
7.
6. 7.
No,
Okay.
you have them in 7.
7, yeah. Okay, so I'm still alive then.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I'm hoping Ottawa pulls through on that one. I like Boston, but I like to see Ottawa advance.
I too like Boston, but I picked Ottawa in 6.
Okay.
So pretty much the same. I do like Boston also, but I have Ottawa in 6. The Washington-Toronto series, which I thought was going to be the not much of a series to watch, but Toronto surprised us. They have been playing well, but
Yeah, I was very impressed with their play in Game 1.
yeah,
I was kind of hoping they'd pull that one off and make things kind of interesting.
right. So I thought, well, they could make this series interesting. But I have Washington winning this in 5. I thought Toronto may pull one out of there. And I have, I'm sorry. I have Washington in 4. And sweeping the series, yeah. All right. You have any thoughts on that series?
No, I just hope. I mean, I got Washington going in 5.
Right.
But I'm hoping Toronto will make it more of an interesting series.
Yeah. And they could. After seeing them in Game 1, I thought there was some hope there. But they're playing Washington, They're playing Washington. Washington is tough. It's tough. I kind of feel bad for Toronto. It's like, man, it's just not fair. They work so hard to get into the playoffs,
Yeah, he gets stuck with Washington.
Yeah, because I think Toronto was probably the most improved team out of the league.
Oh, by far, yeah.
And I just hate to see them bow out in 4 games. But
Yeah.
all right, Howie, the Pittsburgh series.
That's another series that's let me down. I'm hoping I'd like to see Columbus come back and win that series, but I don't know if that's going to happen now. But this whole playoff thing. I mean, a lot of these teams they let me down, man. Just let me down.
Well, the first night was just really weird.
Yeah, it was.
It was a strange night because teams were winning that I didn't. Things were happening that I didn't expect to happen.
Yeah.
There you go. So you have.
I have Columbus in 7.
You have Columbus in 7.
Yeah. I pulled up my sheet.
Yeah, I also have that series going to 7, but I have Pittsburgh winning that series in 7. Okay. Pittsburgh looks pretty tough right now. They look really strong. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll go to 7. Columbus looks like they're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
All right. So now that we've done the first round in the East, should we do the first round in the West?
Yeah. Let's go to the West.
All right, you go ahead and you start with this one.
Chicago, Nashville.
Yeah, Chicago.
That one I got. I picked Chicago in 5, but I'm kind of glad to see Nashville pull out that first win.
Right, I agree. I also have Chicago in 5.
I would love to see Chicago get out in the first round.
Yeah, I would love to see Nashville move on. I don't know. I have Chicago going in 5.
But that brings us to.
I'm sorry. We have to even mention this.
My series with Minnesota now down 2 games.
Minnesota, St. Louis, and now they're down by 2.
I got Minnesota in 6, so that means they're going to have to win these next 4 straight. But I just don't see how that's going to happen.
Right.
Allen is just playing. Just awesome. I don't know what's going on, but they just, I mean.
Yeah, I also, too, had Minnesota at 6. But
right now, they suck.
I think that they just peaked too early. They went all season. They strong all season long. And I'm just wondering if it just wore them out.
I don't know. They've got to find something to turn around fast.
Tough one. And then we move into the West with Anaheim and Calgary. For this one, where's my pick? That's okay. I have Anaheim in 5.
Yeah, I have Anaheim in 5, but I would love to see Calgary win that.
So would I. Anytime anybody who plays the Ducks, I want to see the Ducks.
I don't know. Calgary just they struggle against the Ducks.
They do. I think they just struggle in the playoffs. Period.
Yeah.
They sort of have that St. Louis thing going, although St. Louis looks good. They look really good right now.
Yeah, and that last series in the West is actually one I'm kind of interested in this one because this one I've got Edmonton going in 6, and I would love to see them move on because I think if Minnesota gets outed, I'm jumping on the Edmonton train for the rest of this playoff.
Yeah. I too have Edmonton in 6. And they look really impressive. They look really good. And that has been a good series to watch.
Edmonton. I mean, just Edmonton. I mean, they're right there with Toronto as far as mass improvement for the
Oh
year.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And I love the fact they're wearing they went with their orange jerseys for the playoffs.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
I like those.
Yeah, I do too. All right, Howie. Third round.
Oh, round 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, round 2. Third round.
So in the East, that brings me to
The Rangers in Ottawa.
yeah, that would have Ottawa playing the Rangers, and that one I have the Rangers advancing on in 6. I would like to see Ottawa do it, but I don't think it would be too realistic in my view. Oh, I mean, well, you know my feelings of the Rangers.
Look, do you want to tell us about that?
No.
No.
We've gone there before.
Yeah, we have.
I'm pissed off enough. I don't want to talk about them.
Okay. I also have the Rangers going in 6. So we'll see. I think the Rangers are just they're playing playoff hockey right now. I'll tell you that. They're really.
You have them playing Ottawa?
Huh? Yeah,
You
I
have
have
them-
them playing Ottawa and the Rangers going in 6.
Okay.
So my next series would be Washington and Pittsburgh. And I have Washington going in 6.
Okay. That brought mine to Washington and Columbus, and I had Washington advancing on in 7.
Washington 7 with Columbus. Wow, that's pretty good for Columbus, hanging in there that long.
I don't know if they're going to get past the first round now. I might be out of the Stanley Cup Challenge right off the bat. I mean, none of my teams are winning.
Yeah, but we're only 2 games in, Howie. Anything can happen. We're only 2 games in.
I mean, right now, the only ones that are going for me are Anaheim and Washington, and that's it.
Anything can happen. Okay.
That brings us to the West,
Right,
which
go.
I have Chicago and Minnesota, and stupidly, I went with Minnesota in 7.
It can still happen.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Like I said, right, the way they're playing right now, they couldn't get past the first round of the state high school tournament.
Stop. All right. I also have Chicago and Minnesota. And I have Chicago in 7. So we both have 7 games.
Chicago and who?
Minnesota.
Oh, you had Minnesota too?
Yeah, I had Minnesota. Chicago, Minnesota, and Chicago wins in 7. So
Okay.
that's where I picked Minnesota's end right there.
Okay. Which, I mean, if they get past the first round, it could be realistic. I mean, they have a tough time getting by that second round. And 2, they have the infamous Game 7, in which Boudreaux can't win Game 7s.
Right.
So that streak would continue.
Right.
Mine would snap it. If Minnesota could get past this and then get to Game 7 round 2 and win, that would break that little curse.
That's right. And it could still happen. So don't. It could still happen. You need to calm down.
Because that would be kind of like the Billy Goat of the Chicago Cubs. It'd be done and over with.
That's right. All right. My next series is Anaheim and Edmonton. And I have Edmonton in 6.
I concur. That's the same as what I have. Edmonton in 6. which brings us to the conference finals,
Right.
where I would have Minnesota versus Edmonton and Washington versus the Rangers.
That's right. So start with your Rangers in Washington.
My Washington Rangers, I have Washington moving on to the Cup in 6 games.
Okay. And my final semifinals are, or conference finals, are the Rangers in Washington and Chicago and Edmonton. So out of the Rangers in Washington, I have Washington in 7.
Okay. But for me, meeting Washington for the Cup, between Minnesota and Edmonton, I have Minnesota, of course, in 6.
Okay, I have Chicago in Edmonton, and I have Chicago in 6.
Okay. So we move to the Stanley Cup, where I have Washington and Minnesota.
Yep.
Shockingly, I have picked Washington to win the Cup in 6.
Wow. And your goals?
Goals, total goals, I have 32.
My Stanley Cup, I have Chicago and Washington. I have Washington in 6.
That seems to be the favorite for the Cup right now, is Chicago and Washington.
Yeah. And I have, for my tiebreaker, 33 goals.
Okay.
So very close.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I have Chicago and Washington, with Washington winning in 6. And Howie has Minnesota and Washington, with Washington winning in 6.
Now, if Minnesota gets outed this first round, who I would like to see go to the Stanley Cup, or even right now, who I would like.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Minnesota-Columbus Stanley Cup. But if Minnesota gets ousted, I want to see Edmonton and Columbus go.
I don't know. Columbus, when you...
I don't see Columbus coming back from 2 down.
I don't know with strong teams like the Rangers, Washington, Montreal. Strong teams. You're putting Columbus winning these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen, I guess. I mean, I could have easily picked the Rangers to go to the Cup.
Yeah.
That's how strong I think they are right now. I could have easily picked them.
They've got a very good shot at going.
Yeah.
If they can get past, if someone can knock out Washington, I think they will.
Yeah, Washington's going to be tough to take out, and out of those teams, Pittsburgh or Columbus would.
Well, one of them would have to.
Well, one of them would have to, but I don't know. Columbus can do it. I don't know if it.
I think Pittsburgh or Columbus can take Washington out. I think Pittsburgh would probably have the better shot at it. But I don't know.
It's already been interesting. We have some games today and tonight, or today, right? day games today?
Yeah, day games today and day games tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't have the times of these games.
I know Sunday Minnesota plays St. Louis in St. Louis at 2 p.m. Central Time.
How about today's games? Do you have? I'm not
I
seeing that.
don't have the schedule in front of me.
Yeah. But there you have it. We will post our predictions on the website.
I want to call mine a prediction now. I think mine's more called a fantasy.
We'll post them out there. If y'all would like a copy of this bracket, I can post it out online and you can download it from there. Fill it out and email it back to us if you'd like. If you've already made your picks, then you could just fill it out and send it to us. Or just send us what you got on your picks and we'll accept that too this time. I mean, we're just...
Yeah, let's work on this earlier for next year and then come up with some stupid prize or something.
Yeah. But we have to perfect it, that's for sure. So that's it for this episode, Howie. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So with that, we thank you all for listening and watching our podcast. Go out to our website at www.thepuckdropcheer.com. Check out our past podcasts and give us a like on Facebook. Send us a tweet on Twitter. We're on Instagram and what's the other one? Instagram and Pinterest. And send us an email at Jon and Howie at puckdropcheer.com, or you could send us your picks for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and don't forget to file your taxes this weekend. That's what I'm doing today.
That's right. It's tax week, isn't it? So it's today, isn't it?
Tuesday.
Tuesday's the day. So yeah.
But I gotta get
mine
done.
are already done.
I have too much crap going on.
So with that, folks, enjoy the games. We bid you all adieu.
Farewell. Farewell.